there was a young boy named Alex. He had bright eyes and a big imagination. Alex loved to dream about becoming a famous inventor one day. He spent hours sketching his ideas in a worn-out notebook. From flying cars to self-cleaning houses, his dreams were colorful and vivid. But as he shared his ideas with others, not everyone supported him. At school, his classmates laughed when he spoke about his inventions. "You'll never build a flying car, Alex," said Mark, the popular kid who always wanted to be the center of attention. "Why don't you stick to things that are real?" His friends would giggle, echoing Mark's words. It hurt Alex, but it only made him more determined. He promised himself that one day he would show them. Years passed and Alex grew up. He worked hard in school, focusing on science and engineering. He often stayed late in the library, studying books about electricity, robotics, and physics. His determination was unwavering. Each day, he added more ideas to his notebook, having faith that one day he would build something amazing. In high school, Alex's hard work paid off. He was accepted into a prestigious engineering university. There, he met a new group of friends who believed in him. Sophia, a talented student with a love for robotics, and Jake, who had a passion for programming, became his closest allies. Together, they dreamed even bigger. They spent late nights in the lab, creating sketches and prototypes, encouraging one another along the way. One cold winter evening, after months of hard work, they finally presented their first invention, a drone that could help farmers monitor their crops. The presentation was a huge hit, and the trio received praise from their professors. Suddenly, Alex's dreams began to take shape, and his confidence grew. He realized that he was going to be an inventor after all. As Alex and his friends continued their studies, they developed more inventions. A year later, they founded a small startup with their savings. They wanted to create smart home devices. Their first product was a simple voice-controlled light switch. It was easy to use and very affordable. They put it up for sale online and waited, hoping for success. As their business grew, so did their inventions. Word got around about Alex's innovative ideas, and soon they gained attention from local media. The small startup that had once seemed like a dream now turned into a thriving company. They found investors who supported their growth. Every new product brought in more customers, and Alex felt fulfilled. His hard work was finally paying off. Back in Maplewood, the kids who had laughed at Alex were no longer laughing. Mark, Jessica, and a few others had grown up too. They were now stuck in dead-end jobs and dreaming of better lives. One day, Mark was scrolling through his phone when he saw an article about Alex's successful inventions. He was shocked. "No way. Is that really him?" he whispered to himself. He called Jessica, and they decided to check it out. They found the address of Alex's company and decided to visit. They felt a mix of curiosity and regret as they approached a modern building. Inside, it was full of busy employees, all working on new projects. The air buzzed with excitement. Mark and Jessica looked at each other, feeling out of place in their old clothes. As they walked through the office, they spotted Alex talking with Sophia and Jake. He was laughing, looking confident and happy. Mark's heart sank. He remembered the times they had laughed at him. "Should we go talk to him?" Jessica asked, uncertainty in her voice. Mark hesitated. What do we even say? He felt a rush of embarrassment, but they took a deep breath and approached. Alex looked up and saw them. A flicker of surprise crossed his face. "Mark, Jessica, it's been a while," he said politely, his voice calm. They could see that he wasn't bitter or upset. Instead, he looked proud of what he had achieved. Mark stammered. "We saw your company in the news. We just want to say we're sorry for how we treated you. We didn't believe in your dreams." Jessica nodded, chiming in, "Yeah, we were so wrong. Your inventions are amazing." Alex smiled, but there was a hint of sadness in his eyes. "Thank you. It means a lot to hear that. But I was always focused on my dreams. I never needed your approval to keep going." He paused for a moment. "It wasn't easy, but I had great support from friends who believed in me." The words hung in the air. Mark felt a wave of guilt wash over him. "We were just kids," he said, trying to explain. "We didn't understand." Alex nodded. understanding their feelings, but it didn't change the past. That's true. But remember, everyone has dreams. It's important to support each other, not tear each other down. They talked for a little while longer, and Alex shared some of his latest projects. He even invited them for a tour of the new lab where he and his friends were working on a sustainable energy project. As they walked through the building, Mark and Jessica marveled at the inventions around them. By the end of the day, Mark and Jessica left feeling inspired. They realized that they had grown and changed. While they could not change what they did in the past, they could learn from it. They promised each other to be more supportive in their own lives moving forward. Years later, Alex's inventions became widely used and his company thrived. Mark and Jessica often thought back to that day. They had learned an important lesson about dreams and kindness. Sometimes, it was not about who believed in you at first, but who stood by you along the way. Alex continued to invent, but now he also made sure to lift others up, just as he had been lifted. In a small town nestled amidst rolling hills, there lived a young boy named Ethan. From a tender age, Ethan possessed an insatiable curiosity and an unwavering belief in the power of innovation. While his peers were content with playing games and following the well-trodden path, Ethan dared to dream of a future where technology could transform lives and solve the world's most pressing problems. Ethan's fascination with technology began with a simple fascination with computers. He spent countless hours tinkering with old machines, disassembling them and reassembling them, driven by an insatiable desire to understand how they worked. As he delved deeper into the world of coding and programming, his imagination soared, and he envisioned a world where technology could seamlessly integrate into every aspect of human life. However, Ethan's dreams were often met with ridicule and skepticism from those around him. His classmates dismissed his ideas as childish fantasies, while his teachers struggled to understand his unconventional approach to learning. Even his own family, though supportive in their own way, couldn't quite grasp the scope of his ambitions. "Why waste your time with those gadgets, Ethan?" his father would often say. "Focus on your studies and get a stable job like everyone else." But Ethan remained undeterred. He knew that his vision was worth pursuing, and he refused to let the negativity of others extinguish his burning passion. He continued to immerse himself in the world of technology, devouring books, attending workshops, and participating in online forums, all in pursuit of his dreams. As Ethan grew older, his ideas became more refined and his skills more honed. He started developing his own software programs and building innovative devices, each one a testament to his unwavering dedication. But despite his remarkable progress, he still struggled to gain recognition and support from the wider community. One day, Ethan decided to showcase his inventions at the town's annual science fair. He spent weeks preparing his exhibit, meticulously crafting each detail and ensuring that everything was perfect. But when the day of the fair arrived, he was met with disappointment. Few people stopped by his booth, and those who did often dismissed his creations as mere novelties. "It's just a bunch of fancy gadgets," one of the judges remarked with a dismissive wave of his hand. "It's not going to change the world." Ethan's heart sank. He had poured his heart and soul into his inventions, and have them dismissed so casually was a crushing blow. But even in the face of such discouragement, he refused to give up. He knew that his ideas had merit, and he was determined to prove the naysayers wrong. After graduating from high school, Ethan decided to leave his small town and pursue his dreams in the bustling metropolis. He enrolled in a prestigious university, where he hoped to find like-minded individuals who shared his passion for technology. At the university, Ethan thrived. He excelled in his studies, formed close relationships with his professors, and collaborated with other students on groundbreaking projects. He finally felt like he had found his place in the world. During his time at the university, Ethan developed a revolutionary new technology that had the potential to transform the way people communicated. It was a virtual reality platform that allowed users to interact with each other in a fully immersive and realistic environment. Ethan believed that this technology could bridge the gap between people from different cultures and backgrounds, fostering understanding and collaboration on a global scale. Ethan poured all his energy and resources into developing his virtual reality platform. He worked tirelessly day and night, refining the technology and making it as user-friendly as possible. He knew that if he could get his platform into the hands of the right people, it could change the world. After years of hard work, Ethan finally launched his virtual reality platform. At first, it was met with skepticism and indifference, just like his previous inventions. But slowly, word began to spread about the platform's unique capabilities and its potential to revolutionize communication. People from all walks of life started using Ethan's platform, and they were amazed by an immersive and realistic experience. They could connect with friends and family from all over the world, attend virtual concerts and events, and even collaborate on projects in a shared virtual space. As the popularity of Ethan's platform grew, so did his fame and fortune. He became a media sensation, appearing on television shows, giving interviews, and speaking at conferences around the world. He was hailed as a visionary, a genius, and a pioneer of the digital age. Years later, Ethan returned to his small town. He had come back not to gloat or seek revenge, but to share his success with a community that had once doubted him. He organized a town hall meeting and invited everyone to attend. To his surprise, the town hall was packed. People from all walks of life had come to see the boy who had once been ridiculed and dismissed, but who had now become a global icon. As Ethan stood on the stage, he scanned the crowd and noticed some familiar faces. There were his former classmates, his teachers, and even his own family. They all looked at him with a mixture of awe, respect, and perhaps a hint of regret. "I know that many of you doubted me," Ethan said, his voice filled with emotion. "You laughed at my dreams and told me to give up. But I never lost faith in myself, and I never stopped believing in the power of technology to change the world." Ethan then unveiled his latest project, a state-of-the-art community center equipped with the latest technology, including his virtual reality platform. He announced that the center would be open to everyone in the town, regardless of their age, background, or financial status. "This is my way of giving back to the community that shaped me," Ethan said. "I want to inspire the next generation of innovators and dreamers, and I want to show them that anything is possible if they believe in themselves." After the town hall meeting, people lined up to thank Ethan and congratulate him on his success. Among them were the very same individuals who had once dismissed his dreams. "We were wrong about you, Ethan," one of his former classmates said, his voice filled with remorse. "You really did change the world." Ethan smiled and shook his head. "I didn't do it alone," he said. "I had the support of my family, my friends, and my mentors. And even the doubters and the naysayers played a role in my journey. They motivated me to prove them wrong and to work even harder to achieve my dreams." As Ethan looked around at the crowd of people who were now standing in his line, he realized that he had come full circle. He had started as an outcast, an underdog, but he had risen to become a leader, an inspiration, and a symbol of hope for the entire world. And in that moment, he knew that all the struggles, the sacrifices, and the setbacks had been worth it. Once, in a small town named Willow Creek, lived a boy named Ethan. He was a dreamer, full of bright ideas and big ambitions. Ethan wanted to be an inventor. He imagined creating machines that could help people, things that would change the world. He spent days sketching his ideas in a tattered notebook, dreaming about the day when he would make something amazing. Ethan had a close friend named Lily. She shared his love for dreams and creativity, but as time went on, they drifted apart. Lily began to hang out with a group of popular kids who didn't care for dreams or inventions. They teased Ethan, saying he was just a silly boy with silly ideas. They laughed at his sketches and called him names like Ethan the Dreamer. This made Ethan feel very lonely, but he continued to believe in himself. One day, while sitting alone at the playground, Ethan met an old man named Mr. Thompson. He had a kind smile and sparkling eyes. Mr. Thompson was a retired engineer who had worked on many great projects. Upon seeing Ethan's sketches, he was impressed. "These are wonderful ideas. Ethan, have you thought about trying to make them real?" he asked. Ethan's eyes lit up. "I want to create robots that can help with chores and even help people in need," he exclaimed. Mr. Thompson encouraged him, saying, "Start small. Maybe build something simple first." With renewed energy, Ethan began to work on his inventions. He gathered old parts from discarded electronics and started tinkering in his garage. He spent hours there, perfecting his designs and learning from his mistakes. His first creation was a small robot that could pick up toys. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. He showed it to Lily and their old friends, but they just laughed. They told him that it would never go anywhere and that he should give up. Feeling hurt, Ethan decided to focus on his work and ignore the laughter. He enrolled in a local community college to learn more about engineering. He studied hard, worked at odd jobs, and saved money. Over the years, he built more complex creations. He made a robot that could help people with disabilities and another that could plant trees. As time passed, Ethan gained recognition for his inventions. He entered competitions and won scholarships. People began to notice him not just in Willow Creek, but in nearby towns too. He kept pushing himself, making larger inventions, and even teamed up with great engineers. Finally, he developed a robot that could assist in disaster areas. This robot could find survivors and help rescue them by bringing them supplies. Fast forward to 10 years later. Ethan had a successful company called Ethan's Innovations. His robots were being used all over the country. He was invited to showcase his inventions at a big international tech fair in the city. Ethan worked very hard on his presentation, determined to impress everyone. On the day of the fair, the hall was filled with people and bright lights. Ethan stood by his booth, proudly demonstrating his latest invention. Crowds gathered, and people clapped for him. He felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Just then, he saw familiar faces in the crowd. It was Lily and the popular kids who had laughed at him years ago. They stood together, watching Ethan with surprise. They whispered to each other, their faces filled with disbelief. Lily's eyes were wide, and for a moment, Ethan couldn't tell if she was proud or regretful. Knowing he had come so far, he pushed aside his anger and smiled at them. As Ethan finished his presentation, he noticed Lily stepping forward. "Ethan, we didn't know. We didn't believe in you," she confessed, her voice shaking. "We were wrong." Ethan felt a rush of emotions. "I remember how you all laughed," he replied gently, "but I never stopped believing in my dreams. I guess that's what really matters." One of the boys from the group, Jake, looked embarrassed. "We didn't understand then. We thought you were just a kid with wild dreams. But look at you now. You've really done it." Ethan nodded, feeling a sense of closure. "Thank you, but I had to ignore your laughter to get here. I had to believe I could do it." The crowd cheered again, and Ethan realized that all the hard times had made him stronger. He looked back at his inventions and knew he would keep dreaming bigger. After the presentation, many people approached him to learn more and discuss potential partnerships. It felt amazing and was exactly how he envisioned his future. As the fair came to an end, Lily, Jake, and the others stood in line at Ethan's booth. They wanted to purchase one of his robots. Ethan smiled but added, "Before you buy anything, I want you to think about your dreams. Don't ignore them like I almost did. Follow them, no matter what." They nodded, realizing the importance of dreaming big. They each bought a robot, not only to support Ethan, but also as a reminder of their own dreams. That day marked a turning point not only for Ethan, but for Lily and their friends. It showed them that dreams could come true if you believe in yourself and work hard. Ethan had turned their laughter into motivation, and years later, they were not just standing in his line. They were cheering for those who dared to dream. Ethan learned that true success comes from believing in oneself and inspiring others, no matter how tough the road may seem. In the heart of Willow Creek, he had become a beacon of hope, showing everyone that dreams should never be ignored.